For nearly 1 billion years, Earth existed as a dynamic, restless world, a canvas of evolving landscapes and burgeoning life. Continents shifted, volcanoes roared, and the oceans teemed with nascent microbial forms, laying the groundwork for everything that followed. Life, though primitive, was tenacious. It breathed, it consumed, it multiplied, slowly altering the very chemistry of the planet. But a monumental shift was brewing, a geological reset, unlike any before or since, was about to unfold. Around 720 million years ago, a series of converging factors began to tilt Earth's delicate climate balance. A runaway feedback loop was initiated. More ice meant more sunlight reflected back into space, leading to further cooling. The early signs were subtle, yet ominous. A slow creep of frost, an undeniable chill settling over the land. Plants, or their ancient predecessors, fought a losing battle against the encroaching cold. Rivers, once lifeblood, slowed to a crawl, becoming channels for the relentless march of ice. What began as a chill in the air soon became an unstoppable force. Glaciers, on an unprecedented scale, began their inexorable march. Across continents, landscapes once vibrant and raw were silenced, buried beneath an expanding shroud of white. Even the oceans, once warm and boundless, succumbed to the relentless cold, freezing from the surface down. Microscopically, the architecture of eternal winter was being meticulously constructed, cell by frozen cell. Mountains themselves became frozen monuments to a planet in distress, slowly being reshaped by glacial power. The ice front advanced relentlessly, a mile-high barrier stretching across the ancient world, erasing all in its path. The oceans, too, were not spared. Their surface transformed into a colossal, desolate expanse of solid ice. Within the heart of the ice, secrets of the ancient atmosphere were eternally preserved, frozen in time. Massive icebergs, once symbols of glacial retreat, now became harbingers of global winter, drifting across ever-chilling waters. The coastal plains vanished, consumed by a frozen tide that stretched far beyond any imagination. The ice grew to unimaginable depths, a colossal burden pressing down on the planet's surface. Even the driest, most barren lands were touched by the chilling hand of the expanding glaciation. Yet, even in this nascent winter, life found a way. Tiny organisms adapted to the extreme conditions, hidden within the ice itself. The snowfall was ceaseless, layering over millennia, transforming familiar landforms into unrecognizable white behemoths. Glacial valleys, once carved by water, were now sculpted anew by the slow, grinding power of ice. The extent of the glaciation was profound, reaching levels unprecedented in Earth's long history. This was the onset of the Cryogenian period, a deep freeze that would engulf almost the entire planet. The ice sheets grew thicker, reaching an average depth of 1 to 2 kilometers, crushing the very land beneath them. Lakes and shallow seas were trapped, their liquid hearts solidified into vast, intricate canvases of ice. Even the hardest rock was no match for the slow, grinding power of the advancing glaciers, leaving scars on the planet's face. By 635 million years ago, Earth had become the ultimate snowball, a colossal, frozen sphere spinning silently through the cosmos. This was the peak of Snowball Earth, a time when our planet was almost entirely locked in a grip of ice. Imagine a world where average temperatures plummeted to minus 50 degrees Celsius, even at the equator. This wasn't just a cold snap. It was an ice age of unimaginable proportions, freezing the very breath of the planet. For tens of millions of years, Earth became a giant snowball, its surface reflecting almost all sunlight back into space. Beneath this colossal frozen shield, the deep ocean endured, cut off from the sun's life-giving light. In the perpetual darkness of the deep, a fragile, hidden world continued its silent existence. Here, in the embrace of volcanic warmth, life found refuge, thriving on chemical energy instead of sunlight. Hydrothermal vents, deep in the ocean floor, became oases of warmth and nutrient, untouched by the surface ice. These vents sustained entire ecosystems, a testament to life's incredible adaptability and resilience. For millions of years, these isolated pockets of life were all that survived, waiting for the world above to change. These humble, ancient microbes carried the torch of life, safeguarding its future in the harshest of environments. Against the crushing pressure and freezing temperatures, these geological marvels were islands of vitality. Above them, an unimaginable barrier of ice, kilometers thick, sealed off the planet's surface from its deep core. Each vent became a miniature world, evolving and adapting in complete isolation, preserving the spark of life. They represented the ultimate resilience, clinging to existence in a world hostile to almost all other forms of life. The ice reached the equator, sealing Earth in an icy tomb. Yet, beneath this frozen silence, geological forces continued their slow, relentless work. Deep within the Earth's mantle, convection currents still churned, driving plate tectonics and with it, volcanism. Volcanoes, though muffled by the overlying ice, relentlessly released gases into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, the planet's greenhouse gas, began to accumulate, millions of years of volcanic outgassing silently at work. Above the frozen surface, a silent atmospheric battle was being waged. CO2 levels slowly, inexorably rose. On the surface, however, the planet remained locked in its icy slumber, seemingly impervious to change. Each layer of ice was a frozen page in Earth's history, quietly recording the eons of its glacial reign. Below, the planet's core remained fiercely alive, its internal heat a constant, if distant, whisper of change. This era, lasting millions of years, represents one of Earth's most extreme climate states, a testament to its dramatic past. The sheer volume of ice locked away much of the planet's water, causing sea levels to drop significantly. This was the true Snowball Earth, a planet utterly transformed, its familiar blue replaced by an unforgiving white. Yet, the planet's internal engine never ceased. Deep beneath the glacial shell, the Earth was still alive. These deep-sea oases became pressure cookers of chemical energy, nurturing the few life forms that persisted. Each living cell, a tiny miracle, a testament to evolution's ingenuity against overwhelming odds. They were the last bastions of biology, patiently awaiting a change that seemed almost impossible. While the surface slumbered, volcanic activity continued unabated, a slow geological clock ticking beneath the ice. Millions of years of constant volcanic outgassing slowly pumped carbon dioxide into an atmosphere unable to absorb it. With the surface oceans frozen solid, the usual carbon cycle mechanisms that remove CO2 from the atmosphere were effectively shut down. The atmosphere slowly became a colossal greenhouse, trapping heat even as the surface remained locked in ice. For tens of millions of years, this geological stasis endured, a frozen pause in Earth's vibrant history. Within the microscopic brine channels of the ice, tiny extremophiles found refuge, a testament to life's tenacity. The entire planet was enveloped, its liquid oceans transformed into a crushing, impenetrable ceiling of ice. Mountains, once symbols of geological dynamism, became static, frozen sculptures, monuments to a sleeping world. Even the active vents were subtly muted, their outputs confined, contributing to the atmospheric buildup. Life persisted, a tiny, flickering flame in the heart of a global winter, patiently awaiting the dawn. After millions of years, the accumulation of carbon dioxide reached a critical threshold, triggering the planet's slow awakening. The pressure from accumulating gases was immense, and the planet's fiery heart began to push back against the ice. Small eruptions, once muffled, now began to pierce the icy shell, releasing powerful greenhouse gases. First, trickles of meltwater, then vast rivers began to flow beneath the ice, fueled by subterranean heat. The long winter's grip began to weaken, millions of years of accumulated CO2 slowly turning the tide. The atmosphere thickened with greenhouse gases, creating a planetary oven that would eventually melt the colossal ice sheets. The smallest signs appeared first, trickles, then streams of liquid water, a precious commodity returning to the surface. From subtle hairline fractures to vast chasms, the ice began to crack under the rising planetary temperature. Then, a fiery rebellion. Volcanoes, liberated from the crushing ice, erupted with renewed fury, accelerating the thaw. Molten rock met solid ice, creating unimaginable cascades of steam and superheated water, carving new paths across the landscape. The Great Thaw had begun, and the familiar white shroud was slowly but surely receding. The planet, once uniformly frozen, began to reveal its ancient scars as oceans started to open once more. The ice began to retreat with a thunderous roar, great icebergs breaking free, plunging into newly exposed waters. Rivers of meltwater, dark with sediment, began to carve new channels, eroding the very ice that had imprisoned them. Vast stretches of land, once buried, now saw the sky again, a stark, reshaped world emerging from its frozen tomb. The thaw was not gradual. It was a geologically rapid and violent transformation, unleashing colossal forces. Meltwater lakes, once small, became inland seas, collecting the runoff from retreating glaciers. The sheer volume of meltwater began to reshape the exposed land, carving new landscapes from the ancient rock. Glacial valleys, once filled with ice, became torrents of sediment-laden water, carving deep into the exposed bedrock. The planet's albedo drastically changed as more dark ocean absorbed solar radiation, accelerating the melt even further. Coasts emerged, battered and scoured by ice, to face a turbulent, newly awakened ocean. The meltwater was highly acidic, chemically reacting with exposed rock, further influencing the planet's evolving chemistry. Mountains shed their icy burdens, unleashing unimaginable torrents that transformed valleys into roaring canyons. New land emerged, raw and barren, sculpted by the slow hand of ice and the rapid flow of meltwater. Finally, the vast ice sheets fractured and melted, revealing a new, turbulent world beneath. These new rivers carried an immense load of dissolved minerals and nutrients, flushing them into the oceans. The oceans, once sterile beneath the ice, were now supercharged with a cocktail of life-giving chemicals. This influx of nutrients transformed the oceans, setting the stage for an explosive burst of biological innovation. Coastal areas, once frozen, became fertile wetlands, ripe for new forms of life to colonize. The Snowball Earth, a period of planetary cleansing, left behind a world brimming with untapped potential. The post-snowball oceans were a nutrient-rich soup, a primeval broth brimming with the building blocks of complex life. Photosynthesis, once stifled, now surged. Microbial mats exploded with vibrant growth, pumping oxygen into the newly thawed atmosphere. The surface oceans, once sterile, transformed into vast, fertile nurseries, preparing for the greatest biological revolution. From this rich environment, the first whispers of multicellular life began to stir, simple yet profound. The Earth had shed its icy skin, emerging as a verdant, vibrant world, ready for a new chapter. The shores hummed with new metabolic activity as early life forms reclaimed their ancient territories. This post-glacial epoch paved the way for the Ediacaran biota, the earliest known complex multicellular life. The rapid changes in ocean chemistry and increased oxygen levels were the perfect catalysts for evolution. The stage was meticulously set for the most extraordinary burst of life in Earth's history, the Cambrian explosion. From the ashes of a frozen world, a new, complex biosphere was ready to burst forth. The pristine beaches and shallow waters, once hidden under ice, beckoned life to explore new niches. These unique organisms filled the newly abundant ecological niches, experimenting with body plans and strategies. The entire planet became a giant laboratory, accelerating evolution to an unprecedented pace. This fertile environment laid the groundwork for the sudden emergence of most modern animal phyla. Snowball Earth was not an end, but a dramatic beginning, purifying the planet for the grand explosion of complex life. This period of profound environmental change, though catastrophic, was a necessary crucible for complex evolution. The genetic toolkit was expanded, fueled by the available resources and the drive for survival. This was the threshold of a new biological era, an unprecedented explosion of form and function. The oceans pulsed with newfound energy, becoming the cradle for almost every major animal group we know today. This was the true legacy of Snowball Earth, a planet reset, purified, and primed for the incredible diversity of life. From this crucible of change emerged the blueprints for creatures that would one day walk the land and eventually gaze upon the stars. The development of hard parts, of predation, and of complex behaviors forever changed the course of life. The Snowball Earth, a cataclysm that almost extinguished life, ultimately forged the conditions for its greatest triumph. From a barren rock to a frozen sphere to a vibrant, living world, Earth's journey is a testament to its boundless resilience. And it reminds us that even in the face of the most extreme adversity, life finds a way, always.